G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talk Stuff. Let's talk about protecting your confidence. One of your most valuable assets, kings, is your confidence. And trust me, every day someone is going to try to shatter your ego. Many people have a chip on their shoulder, particularly women. Women have been indoctrinated to engage in egotistical behavior. They are told they need control in a relationship. They need to assert themselves and to establish some sort of boundaries beyond the normal, what you would consider in the relationship, the give and take, the boundaries of consent, and so forth. No, the problem is when you tell an insecure person to control the relationship, that insecurity turns into arrogance. Women do not check their ego. They are told they're regaining their control and power. It's for their safety. It's for their protection. It makes them feel secure. Unfortunately, that insecurity sabotages all relationships. And often it's retaliation for perceived wrongs. Now, what do women typically do when they want to shatter your ego, when they want to tear you down? They act bored. And in fact, people who act bored turn into boring people. People who say, I'm bored, are usually boring people. They're insecure. They're narcissistic. They're trying to tear down your ego. They want you to turn them into the center of attention. So you got to stop feeding their ego. You got to start setting boundaries. But before that, what else do they do? Well, unimpressed. They don't laugh at your jokes on purpose. They don't commend your actions in any way. They don't engage in you in meaningful ways. They only address down to you. Often completely ignoring you. So whenever a woman's ignoring you on purpose, she's trying to tear down your ego to make you beg. Of course, body attacks, weight, penis size, other features. But usually it is your performance in general, not just in the relationship, but in general. They try to wear and niggle you down all the time. Now, actions that break this, right? To protect your ego, men, you have to first develop your approach. You have to know how to handle emotional manipulation. Sorry, you have to identify and handle emotional manipulation before you enter into a relationship and start identifying her character tests. And if these go on after a few dates, she is no longer testing your character, but testing the boundaries and heading into the sphere of arrogance and control. She's insecure. These are all red flags. These are why most relationships end early. First, the stoic approach. Men, stoicism is our natural, well-developed boundaries. Often, when she's overreacting, over-explaining, when she's trying to tear you down, don't defend yourselves. Stay quiet. Shrug it all off. Be engaged in deep thought. Refuse to engage or be her emotional puppet. Detach yourself. Realize that it's her insecurities and you just sit there and think of your achievements. Because we all have them. Whether they like it or not, we men achieve. We all achieve. We don't have to beat others to achieve. That's the problem in this world. Women think you always have to beat others. Always numbers go up. Now, you also have to be able to judge, okay? Maybe you have done something wrong, but that is your self-analysis, which you should have done well before she even opens her mouth. Anyway, a Stoic is always questioning their beliefs, is always making sure they don't. I do it. I over-explain. I overreact. I try to defend myself. I am working on being truly detached from the narcissistic cruelty of egotistical, insecure people. Now, you don't have to be a stoic per se to act indifferent to insults and personal attacks. However, if you are firm in your belief you need to respond, you respond by setting boundaries. You say, I will not tolerate your behavior. Do not be aggressive. I find your behavior unacceptable to me. You have to emphasize the you and me. I, you, myself. You're always emphasizing the pronouns because you're breaking her brainwaves, her pattern of speech. Flex your vocabulary and your vocal range. I do not like how you are talking to me. The emphasis is a powerful 1-2 punch. It's always the double. And they can't program out of it because they cannot rewire their ego. That's why when we look at Christianity, they tell you, the people you cannot save, they can't be rewired, okay? When women become secure and narcissistic, they are bone cancer. You send them back to their families to take care of them because you cannot take care of them. You cannot save them. Right? It's why you girls were educated not to be arrogant, not to be aggressive, because it's a behavior of a lifetime with women. Enforce the consequences. No violence. We're not talking about the pimp slap. We're talking about leaving the room, hanging up the phone, ending the interaction in meaningful ways. And if they pursue it, that is when you draw the line and saying, we need to reevaluate our position. I think you are not invested in this relationship. I am not your punching bag for your insecurities. You set firmer boundaries. You make them leave you, no doubt, right? Do not allow now, of course, in relationships, these go tools of manipulation. You get manipulative men. The male feminist is just as manipulative, if not more so, than the female feminist. Remember, the male feminist is trying to manipulate a manipulator. So they're going to have to master manipulation. So they actually work on other men to build up their manipulation skills and practice out on women. Now, try to be as disarming as possible to be direct, but at the same time, don't take it personally. Laugh it off and tell her you think she's wrong. You must be wrong. I know you're wrong. I'm not going to explain myself. If you can't figure it out, always turn it back on the aggressor. Women will always be passive aggressive, and the moment she raises a hand to you, that is permission to walk away and say, and women do this all the time, you clearly do not value me. You do not value me. right? You have to really learn to focus the pronouns, shatter their train of thought without yelling, without screaming, because they'll escalate all the time. Society will protect. Remember, society protects the women, the landowner, boss, right? It used to be, society used to, politicians, that's why they get up and grandstand, because they're protected, right? This idea of a protected class is toxic to society. But until we tear it down, we have to control our behavior. We can only control our behavior. We can only control our perceptions. Once her perceptions become warped, the relationship is over. It's just how are you going to end it? Remember, this is when I'm talking about relationships. I'm not just talking about relationship with women in the bedroom sense. I'm talking about any workplace. Women bring their toxic behavior to the workplace. This is in Korea. Has a lot of men. They have the buddy system. You're all in the workplace. Always double up. Always approach a woman with a friend. Always have the ability to record or take notes. Always have witnesses. Never close the door when she tells you to sit down. Right? They are always trying to establish dominance. Niggle, 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 niggle. I will stand. Thank you. I will not be here long. Set firm boundaries. Always with the doubles of the pronouns to focus her mind on you, right? To break her train of thought. Because you can always turn around and say, I'm a valuable employee. You can't treat me like that. You're not my parent. You're only my supervisor. Demote them. Never call a woman a boss. You manage. You supervise. You're not the boss. And if she is asserting herself and saying, I'm the boss around here, that's when you start getting witnesses. That's when you start recording your work diary. That is when you start getting friends and representatives involved. Because, trust me, you do have power. You just have to learn to exercise your power to break free from manipulation. You have to grow and protect your self-esteem. And how do you do this? Find hobbies and achieve. Men do this naturally. Video games. I beat this game. I increase the difficulty. Okay, I found out that some games I can do on hard, some games I can only beat them on easy. You'll find that your limits. But you're not in competition with anyone but yourself for the purposes of entertainment. And every time you finish a game, that's still an achievement, even if you don't platinum on super duper extra double effort, hard. A lot of these games, right, they're made for nanosecond reflexes of 14-year-old. So, in your 30s, you might be able to keep up with, say, a couple, but the lag, you'll soon find out the lag in the team is just your response time. But it doesn't matter. Stop being in competition with others and start protecting your achievements, your ego, your legacy. And remember, you're the prize, kings. You're the achiever. Now, you can turn it around on her if you want and do exactly the same thing. When she says she's bored, just get up, go do something. Literally relocate. If she's unimpressed, don't go to impress her. Just sit back, relax, and chuckle to yourself. Think of your favorite things. Headphones. She starts to rant. Headphones, music, show total indifference. Remind her that she's replaceable, that she's getting older, that she is the one having a hard time accepting your achievements. Women do not press their buttons so much with each other, but they will, and they remember, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Love and hate means they care. Indifference means they don't. Right? So if they've been indifferent to you, ignoring you, whatever, don't pursue them. That's shattering, right? Remember, the dark side of psychology is being used against you every day, and all you have to do is use it back to protect yourself without being aggressive or manipulative, right? You are pursuing the exit. Once they're toxic, you're pursuing the exit, but you're not leaving, you're getting them to go. And when they turn violent, it's time to show them the door. And you have to protect yourself because no one else will. We're all too busy. Most of us would love to help, really, but we're overwhelmed. There's just too many men in need. So we got to start teaching others to save themselves, to spread the message. A lot of males are only feminists for self-preservation. Now, you see my comment section. It explodes sometimes. Some of my videos go viral. So, and of course, that gives me lots of toxic feedback. A lot of people are watching. And I sincerely believe mgtow is a counter-revolution. And there are options to lying flat. Every day, we have to push for our rights and get them back for men. And the first step is protecting your ego. Because once you can protect it, they can't take it from you. And when they can't take your ego, they can't take your rights. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel. You support me on Ko-Fi, Patreon. Buy my books. Buy my merch. Should give you a little reminder exactly what you're getting. Yeah. When I'm talking about my merch here, my fan. Now I've got a few images waiting approval for upload. Yeah. I'm getting Sora redrawn. I'm getting a lot of the. I got to fix this one up a little bit more. Although Akio's looking good. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'll get so, yeah. Of course, Patreon, my RPGs, and buy my books. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, the majority seem to, buy my books. I've sold a coffee cup. Woo, I've sold one. More to go. Yeah. So thank you to all those who support the channel. See you in the next video. Bye for now.